Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jump Up Supercast, the only podcast that is excited for the next generation of video games. Literally the only one. I'm your host, Muzzy, and joining me today is Brandon.
I'm glad that we can be here during this exciting time in gaming.
And Ilse.
How are we starting on this note again? Didn't we do this last week?
Did we? I guess.
Brand-
Well, we're the only ones still excited for next gen.
I was never excited.
No. We're all excited. I speak.
I want to be specific right now.
Individually.
Okay. Yeah, I want to be specific at the beginning of this podcast.
Please do.
I'm not excited about everything. There are things that I'm excited about and things that I'm not excited about. But overall, I'm excited.
The clarity really helps.
There we go.
It was a little more sarcastic this time because, let's be real, the Inside Xbox was not very good.
But there's things in there that I'm, a little excited about. See, you can be excited about some things and just say, I'm excited as a generalized statement and not have to be excited about everything. I just want to say that.
Yeah, well, okay, all right.
Otherwise, you're going to get criticized.
Well, before we get into it, as you notice, this is a short. We got a smaller cast today, but that's okay. We keep on trucking. Will and Saf and Noah, none of them are here today.
We got the real ones. We got the real ones here today.
A bunch of fucking slackers.
So yeah, how are you guys doing? How are you? I guess how'd this week go? This in video game.
It literally hurts to keep my eyes open.
Yeah,
that's. True gamer statement right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I didn't realize.
I played some video games. Of course I played Game Club games. Night in the Woods, baby. We're gonna be talking about that soon.
Oh, that's exciting.
Later this week.
I should probably beat that tonight, huh?
Yeah, you better. Jesus.
You got until tomorrow.
Be easy.
Yeah. And started playing some new games here. I finished Life is Strange 2 this week. Finally got around to that. So, it's another week in games.
Yep.
Yeah.
In isolation.
In isolation. Yeah. That's still still a big part of everything.
Yeah.
Wait,
what about you, Muzzy? Are you actually playing video games, Muzzy?
Yeah. I got back into Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
Resubbed. Getting through it, it's a lot still, but I'm still liking a lot. I beat it's because I beat Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and I just now in this Final Fantasy mood,
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So I'm just like, all right. I've been thinking about getting the Platinum Trophy for 7 Remake. We'll see. I got pretty much everything I need to except for the hard mode trophies. Playing through all 18 chapters in hard mode, it's gonna.
Okay. Good luck with that.
Sounds dumb as fuck.
Me and my friends started playing Moving Out, which is sort of like Overcooked in a way. It's a co-op game, but you are movers. You work for a moving company, and you just go into houses and have to just you have a time limit, and you got to throw everything in the truck. Of course, it's very cartoony and chaotic, and there's obstacles to get around, and you can throw things out the window and just break everything, while you're moving. And it's pretty fun, though. The only thing that I don't like is that the first achievement you get, super easy in the game, is worth 1 gamer score. And in order to get that one to even it out is very difficult. You have to get 5 stars on all the levels or whatever. And it's like, god damn.
Yeah, my gamer score is uneven now, too.
Yeah, it's a pet peeve. It drives me nuts.
That is such a nightmare, just that one anything between 1 and 9.
It has to be divisible by 5. Any gamer score.
Yeah, 5 is fine. Yeah, but
any achievement that's not divisible by 5 can literally go to hell. I hate it.
I don't know why you would do that. I don't know.
It makes it so I have to go get all the things.
Now you feel the need.
I'm not gonna fucking do that.
I did it with Overcooked. I'm gonna do it with this game too.
No, I guess you could always just play four more games that have one.
That's a lot. That's a lot harder to do than you would think.
That's pretty hard.
They're rare to come by.
It's not very often.
Try to find one that just gives you a 4.
Huh?
Try to find one that just gives you a 4.
There's literally forums of that, of people posting about that, where people are, hey, any gamer score is worth 4 or 7 or whatever number they need to fix it. So
if you play Forgotten Hand, they're weird numbers, so you probably find one in there.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, you got to get one and then stop as soon as you get it. Just never play
you
that
probably
game
can't
again.
beat the game. I guess if we're talking about games we played, I finished. Well, I replayed Doom 2016, and then I finished Doom Eternal. And yeah, okay.
You
It
have
was
any general thoughts on the Dooms?
2016 was better, and
Fair. Do you think you like Eternal less because you replayed 2016 immediately before it?
absolutely. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, because 2016 had a better tone, had a better aesthetic. Like Doom Eternal has a shit story. Like they take everything interesting about the story in 2016 and just throw it in a fire. Basically, they
I
don't
see.
explain like like the initial starting point, like where your character starts. Nothing to do with the original game, but it has all the characters, the relevant characters from the previous game. So it's clearly a direct sequel. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. But the gameplay is good.
Okay. Well, at least that's that. Still. So I assume still you liked it overall though, Eternal,
I got
or
a lot
not?
to say about it. I'll write it down soon.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Sounds good. Okay. Well, that's kind of what we've been playing. We don't usually do that too often, But when it's three of us, we get the chance to just
When
kind of.
you when there's no news, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, you would think there'd be news this week, yeah, but let's get into it. So there was an Inside Xbox, May 2020. I guess before that, I should briefly mention. So Xbox did announce their kind of Xbox 2020 initiative, right? Um, and basically, what this is they say that we're basically from May until launch, we're going to be doing monthly events. Once a month, we're going to be doing an event for the Xbox Series X, for the next generation Xbox systems, right? Um, and the way they announced this one was this is your first look at gameplay from next generation games from our third party partners, right? Our first party is going to come later. Now we know that first party showcase is going to be in July, and presumably there will be other bigger third party games here. But I mean, right off the bat, we should know there was basically no AAA games here except for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the only game we knew about going into this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one that showed the most gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And so they teased this event with Assassin's Creed Valhalla all throughout the stream. They were mentioning at the bottom of the stream, it was like coming soon, stay tuned, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So that was clearly the big thing, right? We get to the end, Assassin's Creed Valhalla shows up, and yeah, the trailer it's a teaser. I think I would more quantify it as a teaser. It's not really, we didn't really get a glimpse of gameplay. Sure, everything is in engine, quotation marks, right?
That's the big thing for this entire thing is you have to watch it with that in mind. Everything is in engine.
And in engine. And I think that kind of, and there, to be fair, there was some games with real gameplay in this showcase, right?
Sure,
But
yeah.
It does feel like we were misled, right? I think that the expectations Microsoft set for this Inside Xbox was that this is your first look at next gen. You're gonna see what's different about this. And quite frankly, I didn't see anything personally that stood out to me of I need a new console to run this game. you know?
Do you think that's just because they didn't show anything, or do you think maybe that's like diminishing returns at some point?
I don't know. I think a little bit of column A, column B, right? I mean, again, the AAA games really were not present in this presentation, right? And of course, every single game shown was cross-gen, and that makes sense, right? We should expect cross-gen games for the next 2-3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know, nothing really stood out to me. I think this is weird as your first look for the system. You know what I mean? Because I mean, kind of. And going to Assassin's Creed specifically, right? Like, I mean, that was a disappointment, right? This was your big thing, and I mean, did you learn anything new that we didn't talk about last week? To be quite honest,
no, and I mean, maybe they talked about it. I shut it off after they started doing like we're going to talk to the developers now. So I don't think anything new was really revealed.
No one really talked about anything that came out after that. So I don't think anything useful came from that segment.
Right,
it's even more Vikings than you thought.
The only thing I think I really learned after, and I think this might actually happen before, was that they're actually aiming for a smaller scope for Valhalla because people had the
Yes.
criticism of Odyssey was too big of a game.
Yep.
And
I
maybe
think
felt
Trey
like
is still
too
playing
bloated.
Odyssey.
Yeah, he's been playing for like
After
800
like a
hours.
year.
Yeah, so that in terms of them responding to that, that's fine. And I don't even think that wasn't even like part of this. So that's
that was before this event, actually.
Yeah,
That was,
exactly. So I think I really think gaming is to a point where honestly, how much better can things look?
Sure.
I think it's almost getting to the point where it's just going to be performance more than and I think that's already being shown. More than anything. Then things can of course they're going to look better and better, but it's not going to be those leaps that we're used to from PS1 to PS2 to PS2 to PS3.
Though, of course, I think we should have the caveat that could change as we see first-party games, right? As we see AAA games that more push the system.
Yeah, that's true, too. Especially since a lot of these games are also, being developed, they were probably started on this current gen and trying to be optimized for next gen. Yeah. So I don't even know if there's anything really that was shown there that's developed with just next gen in mind. So while the criticisms I understand, saying that things don't look as good as as people expected, but I also understand. I think people's expectations were just too high. Maybe.
Yeah, but do you think Microsoft is to blame for those expectations being too high?
Yeah, I mean they even admitted it. They I can't remember whose name it is. Somebody from Team Xbox did apologize actually on Twitter and said we actually set the expectations wrong going into this.
Yeah.
So they apologized for it.
I mean, in hindsight, this was more of a teaser for things to come, right?
Sure.
I think that. So, and I think regardless of how they promoted this event, I think in hindsight we can say, okay, this was a teaser. This is not really truly our first glimpse of the system, right?
Yeah, I think they definitely hyped it up more than they should have. I think so. People definitely were expecting more.
Yeah. So let's get into it then. And I think what isn't one thing interesting though. I think it is cool. We've talked about Endless in this podcast before. We like when companies show smaller games, right? More mid-range games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this, aside from Assassin's Creed, which didn't show anything again, right? They showed, I think, quite a bit of them. And
sure, lots of new IPs. I'm into that.
Yeah. So let's go into it. I'm going to just go into things alphabetically. The total number that they showed off in this event was 13. They showed 13 different games. The finale being Assassin's Creed, of course. But most of these games, it's worth noting, support Xbox Smart Delivery, right? And so that is, you buy a game on your Xbox One, even if it comes out before the Series X version, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your system, whether you got the physical disc or the download version, when you get a Series X, will be able to play the native Series X, but not just like enhanced, like an upres, right? Like this is a native version for your Series X, a next gen version. You just are automatically entitled to it. We saw the box art of one of these games, and it seems like there's just going to be one box for cross-gen games, essentially.
Yeah, it just says Xbox on it.
Yep, Xbox, and then it says compatible with Series X and Xbox One, and then it has the badge, right, optimized for Series X.
Yeah, kind of weird putting the badge there, but
Yeah, I think it makes it clear that hey, this is like because I imagine some games will not be optimized for Series X, right? There'll be some games that, but every Xbox One game does work, of course, right? So going into it, we have Bright Memory Infinite. This one is actually not Smart Delivery, by the way. It might be next gen exclusive. I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely not Smart Delivery.
What the fuck is Smart Delivery again?
Yeah, what I just explained. Yeah, so you get the Xbox One version, right? And you put in that disc, and you will automatically get the next gen version.
Oh, okay. It's just a free upgrade. Why the fuck is it called Smart Delivery? It's so confusing.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well,
because, for example, it just needs one disc, right? You don't need to, like, if you remember going into this current generation, right? There was a Battlefield 5 disc or 4 disc for PS3, and there was a Battlefield 4 disc for PS4, right? Two separate discs, right?
There
This is just
was. I
one
don't remember
SKU,
that.
one SKU for everything, which is I think
that's
that's neat.
better. That's
Yeah.
better. Yeah, that is cool. I mean, it's great that they're doing this. That's the thing. It's very consumer friendly.
Oh yeah, I
You
mean, I
don't
like
feel
it.
ripped off.
I like it. I just don't like the name of it. It's fucking dumb.
Well,
Smart.
neither does EA. So
Yeah, so I'm not going to go through each game individually, but there were a total of 13 games in this event. It ended with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, of course, like we just talked about. But most of these games were indie games. Most of these games were smaller games. And I think, in a sense, that's pretty cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they
mhm.
look amazing for what they are. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Senua Sacrifice, right? That's technically an indie game, but it looks
Oh
really
yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
At the time, yeah, Ninja Theory was independent, and that
Yeah.
game looks gorgeous, right?
Hmm.
And funnily, yeah, you're right. Like a lot of these games are pushing graphics actually pretty hard. And when you think of it in the sense of, oh, only a handful of people made this, that's impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know? Yeah. Um. So I want to go. Let's go. Let's each go and talk about a couple games that stood out to us. Brandon, I don't know if you want to start. What games kind of interested you from the showcase?
Well, I mean, it started off with Bright Memory Infinite, which that game looked really cool. It a lot. It's like you're a ninja with a gun, from what I understand. What's going on there? But it was really cool. You use like a grappling hook to kind of like zip yourself around the areas. You can grab people. It reminds me a lot of Bulletstorm, the way that it works with grabbing people and like whipping them out of the air. But then you have a sword, so you can fucking cut them up into pieces, and you can run on the walls. And honestly, it looks like a fucking blast to play. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I was ragging on Doom Eternal, but Doom Eternal has some of these elements, not quite
mhm,
as expanded as this. So this kind of reminded me of that. But yeah, it looks really good,
mhm.
and the colors look really vibrant.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just a very colorful game for sure. Yeah,
Hmm.
it looks very interesting.
hmm
Um,
I was also interested in this was not any. There was a lot of gameplay in the last game, but I was also interested in Scorn, even though we didn't really see any gameplay. I mean, definitely alien vibes going on the whole time. I'm just like, what the fuck am I looking at? I don't even know what the game's gonna be, but it's creepy looking as fuck, and I'm into that. It's just it caught my attention. So what the hell is the game? I don't know. It's disgusting looking, and I want to play it. From
I
what I
hated this
understand,
trailer because I
it,
don't like creepy, gory, nasty things.
there was a
But
part where it looked like some weird penis thing coming out of the wall, and it was
yeah,
dripping. I wasn't into
What's
that part.
wrong
I was
with
like, what the
that?
fuck am I?
Jesus Christ!
it
It
was
was
just
just weird.
Have you
it
never
was
been
just kind
into
of
a stall
gross.
with a glory hole? Jeez.
The
Oh,
whole thing
you're
was just
right.
kind of
All the
gross.
time.
But hey, that's what you can do with next gen graphics, huh?
That's the thing. Hey, they caught my attention. It was weird. It was creepy. I fucking liked it, so I'm
Yeah.
interested now. Um, Also, Second Extinction. That game looked that game looked cool to me.
Is this the game that? So this is the game that kind of like Diablo-esque perspective, yeah? Or no. Sorry, this is
No,
the
no,
at the
no.
end, the one that's like Ark. It reminded me of Ark,
Yeah,
dinosaurs.
kind of,
Yeah.
but
Reminds me of Dino Crisis for some reason. Well,
it
dinosaurs is the reason.
or Torok.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
first person shooter, and I love the name. I don't know, Second Extinction.
Second
Like
Extinction. Yeah.
this fucking humans, like I don't know, dinosaurs came back for some reason. They're on Earth, and humans have to kill them and get
We
rid of them.
realize we
And
can't live together, so we gotta kill them. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's fucking cool, and it
That's
looks
fun.
like it's very much a co-op game. And that just, I saw some people shading on the dinosaur designs online, saying like, "Oh, it looks, fucking." All the dinosaurs have spikes. It looks like how stupid Jurassic World looks like. Whatever, dude. You know what? You're shooting dinosaurs and having fun. I don't give a shit. I just think it looks kind of fun. So, yeah, that looked cool. And then Yakuza. I'm got to get into that for the first time this year.
Yeah, it's and there's something interesting about Yakuza. So Yakuza Like a Dragon. This is the 7th entry, right?
Yeah.
And we've talked about it before. This game is completely changing the gameplay style.
Yeah, so it's an RPG, right?
Yeah, turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
It's got a new protagonist, right? Et cetera, et cetera. However, interestingly enough, so we didn't know this was going to come to next gen, right? And it does support smart delivery, so you buy the. Actually, we didn't even know it was coming to Xbox at all.
Yeah, I think that's honestly. I think that's a bigger deal than people are giving.
Yeah, because the Yakuzas have been slowly coming to Xbox since last November when they announced that Yakuza 0, Kiwami 2, and I think 6 as well, right? Were showing up to Xbox.
At least 2 of them are on Game Pass right now.
Yeah, and all those games I mentioned, they said would be day one Game Pass. So this is the first time we knew that Like a Dragon was gonna come this year to PS4 in the West. However, we now know that it's also coming to PC day one with the PS4 version, and it's coming to Xbox One, and it's coming to Xbox Series X. Yeah. We don't know if they're gonna wait to launch this till next. It will be there at next gen launch for sure. When the Series X launch, that will be a launch game. But we don't know if it'll first launch before the system or when the system launches. But this is the first time Yakuza is going to be launching in the West, and it's not PlayStation exclusive. This is the very first time that that's happened for Yakuza. So I think that's a big deal. We also don't know it's coming to PS5 yet.
Yeah, so it is a big deal. I think people already are giving this whole presentation a hard time because the expectations were so high. But if those expectations weren't there, I think the reception to it would be a little bit better too.
Would be better, sure.
Yeah, because just showcasing some of these indie games that honestly look really good, and then Yakuza just that announcement alone is kind of a big deal.
I think Yakuza is genuinely a big deal. Yeah. Yeah,
and it shows a decent amount. That's some Japanese support for the Xbox that they didn't really have very much of, besides Bandai Namco and Capcom.
Yeah.
So any support like that is kind of a big deal for Xbox, who they have absolutely no presence in Japan at all. So
any franchise that traditionally skips Xbox, it's starting to come now, is very cool. I think
Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts as well. Speaking of Japanese and anime. There was also Scarlet Nexus.
Scarlet Nexus, yeah. Scarlet Nexus is a brand new next generation game from Bandai Namco. Well, it's cross-gen, of course.
Smart
it's
delivery,
very anime.
Yeah, my God. Yeah, I mean, when it doesn't seem that anime when you first start seeing the trailer with these weird plant monsters, and you're like, "Oh, this is weird." And then you see the character, and you're like, "Okay, yeah, this is an anime game."
It kind of stylistically kind of reminds me of Code Vein.
I thought you were going to say Astral Chain, but
yeah, Astral Chain is definitely a lot of things that something that a lot of people are pulling from. And this is made by former Tales staff.
Yeah, I think they said Tales of Berseria specifically.
Okay,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So I guess Tales of Arise is primarily a new team then. But Tales, the people who used to make Tales, they're making this game. Looks kind of interesting. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'll keep an eye on it. I don't know if I'll play it or not, but if I hear good things, I'll give it a shot.
Ills, anything that caught your eye besides? I mean, I think we've already mentioned half of it already. Anything from the rest of it?
Yeah, I like the look of Chorus right now. I don't think they show any gameplay, but it's pretty sweet. Some sci-fi action, some space, exploration or shooting, whatever the fuck. I don't know what's going on exactly, but I hope to find out one day. And that's about it. I don't really care about Call of the Sea.
Well, I thought Call of the Sea was interesting personally. And what I like about this, so it's a small team in Spain, and it's got people from Mercury's team, people who made Guacamelee, people who made Celeste, Guilt. I don't know exactly what they were responsible for, but still very cool. Very cool. I like puzzle games like this,
I hate puzzle games.
Kind of mysterious, You know, I guess adventure game is more like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck adventure games.
Yeah.
You just picked one for the game club.
I know what
Come
I did.
That's why you're saying it now. But yeah, I don't know. And it's on Game Pass, so like I don't even have to think about buying it or not. You know,
That's true.
I'm gonna have it.
A+ for that.
Yeah.
I've one more game. Jeez, I guess there's a lot of games that kind of interest me here. Madden 20. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck Madden.
Fuck that.
Madden 21. Funnily enough, important to know. So this is the first time.
Yeah, I did want to complain about it. Actually,
it is the only game on this list that is not next gen exclusive that does not support smart delivery.
Does not, but they have their own version of it. So they have
their own thing. So if you buy Madden, so Madden seems like it's doing the traditional thing of, you get two separate SKUs. You get the Xbox One version, you get the Series X version, right? And then if you buy the Xbox One version by the end of the year, so that's December 31st, and then you get a Series X by March 31st, they will give you a download for Madden 21, the next gen version, the Series X version.
Putting a time limit on it, the most EA thing.
If I had to guess, though, I am gonna give EA a little bit of slack here. If I had to guess, this may be because they want parity with the PlayStation version, and perhaps the PlayStation version, perhaps the PS4, PS5 does not have that same smart delivery technology that Xbox is using, right? And so maybe they just want things to be equal amongst them. That's just pure speculation on my part. We'll see. Maybe PS4, PS5 does support this. And
I don't know why you're giving them the benefit of the doubt here.
I mean it's EA. Maybe they don't deserve it. I mean, I think it's basically smart delivery, but not really.
It is, but yeah, in the EA way to do it.
Weird EA way, right?
Yeah.
But I guess even the AAA thing is not an excuse, right? Because Valhalla supports smart delivery. So
yeah. So yeah. There's no excuse. They're dumb idiots. Also, the Medium I thought looked pretty cool too. That's being developed by the Blair Witch team.
And they got someone who worked on the Silent Hill soundtrack.
Silent Hill, yeah, the composer from the original Silent Hill games.
Composer of Silent Hill worked on this game, and the Medium is next gen exclusive.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That one's not. That one is only coming to Series X.
And
it's Series X
games.
exclusive, I should say. Also, it's not even coming to PS5, I believe.
Creepy games, give them to me.
Yeah, a lot of if you like creepy games, there was a lot.
There was.
Vampire the Masquerade's Bloodlines 2 also showed up.
Yeah, and that trailer also was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, very weird. Yeah. Overall, I think when you remove this presentation from the burden of this is the first time we're seeing next gen gameplay, I think it was all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, like the least amount of expectations you have for anything, you'll end up better off.
Yeah.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And all that being said too, it's probably the best inside Xbox we've ever had. Which I mean, they didn't really have much to stack up against, but still
low bar for sure. But
yeah,
I think it's funny. Aaron Greenberg mentioned if we had just said this was another inside Xbox, I think people wouldn't have had this kind of expectation. It's because. Yeah, I mean, again, their social media was hyping this up. Everyone from Xbox was hyping this up.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a big deal because Phil Spencer didn't even show up in this presentation. That's how you know this is just a little taste.
Saving old Philly P for Philly Spence. You got to save him for that July one. He's got to show up
July
there.
One. I wonder what the June event will be then, because July they're saying first party games will show up, and I think we can assume that more third party, because I have to imagine, despite one of the big criticisms here being where are the AAA games, they're coming and they're gonna come to Xbox.
I mean, didn't they have that one moment where they put like every single fucking third party developer logo on screen?
Yeah, and like they're all supporting the platform.
Yeah.
Why do they always do that?
I don't know.
They want to show you, hey, look at all these people.
But that's not exciting.
That's an investor thing, Yils. You gotta understand.
Yeah.
So leave it for the investors. The fuck?
But I don't know. I wonder what the June event does, because They're saying it's not going to be an Inside Xbox.
I mean, it's obvious, right? It's the second party games.
Oh, well, the second, yeah, no. Yeah, I think that's where we might get the price of the system. The price, maybe they announced the Lockhart model over there. Yeah, stuff like that.
Maybe. Who can say?
Who can say?
Nobody.
Speculate on at least.
Just have no expectations.
No expectations.
We learned anything. That's what we learned.
By.
Well, speaking of next gen events, this is just a little tidbit, but Jason Schreier is saying the PS5 event is tentatively scheduled for early June.
Take it to the bank.
Of course, with the caveat that we are still in the global COVID-19 pandemic.
No, so it's official now. Jason
things are in flux. Things change. You never know. So, yeah, but worth putting that out there. Okay, that's enough of Xbox. Let's move on to Nintendo. So, Nintendo released their earnings release as they do every quarter for the last quarter of the fiscal year, the first quarter of the calendar year, January to March.
Like, those are Muzzy's holidays right there.
These are my holidays. These are my favorite time, my 4 favorite times a year.
You think he's joking. That man is not fucking joking.
I am not joking. I absolutely love when they give us these sales numbers. Because they're the only ones who give us this kind of detailed information, you know?
Yeah.
So I love it. I love it. So I want to just talk about quick highlights. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you to tears with this.
Too late.
But I do. There is some interesting things to talk about. And number one, you know what it is. It's Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing New Horizons. This game is selling like crazy. And we've talked about this all throughout the year, I think. Or at least the last 2 months. But like, just how crazy is it? Well, in the first 6 weeks, it sold 13.41 million units. To put that into context, that is more than the lifetime sales of Animal Crossing Wild World and Animal Crossing New Leaf.
That's wild.
Ridiculous.
The Wild World.
You know? They did it in 6 weeks. And those games are no slouches either, right? Both of those games sold over 10 million copies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, New Horizons is just on another level. And this game will not stop selling, right? They mentioned that the digital version sales ratio is the highest it's ever been for Nintendo. It has a 50% digital ratio.
Wait, so these numbers are counting digital?
Yes, these numbers are counting digital, yeah. Though it should be mentioned, this 13.41 number is only for the sell-through of Japan, United States, and Europe. Animal Crossing is also selling really well in the rest of the world, including Latin America, Canada, Australia, Asia.
Antarctica.
For the first time, Nintendo systems are kind of popular in Asia, right? And Animal Crossing has been doing great there. And this doesn't even include any of those territories. So, you know, they're pretty impressive numbers.
Absolutely. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, this game will not stop selling.
No matter how many goats I sacrifice.
Yeah, no. Els is trying, believe us. Yeah. But no, I think the digital ratio being very high is, I think, notable. Of course, COVID-19 helps that. The nature of the game helps that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 50% digital ratio. Also, 40% of players are women. Over 40% of players are women. Which,
that's good.
You know,
awesome.
Always good to see. Always good to see.
Yep.
Game for everybody.
Game for everybody. Truly.
Well, goddamn, I'm not a person then. Jesus.
Well,
you're not. Well, you're not really. What are you? I don't even know what you are.
Oh,
did we ever consider you one else? I don't know.
Well, to be fair, I never considered myself one.
Yeah, there we go. So just crazy success for Animal Crossing. Yeah, big deal. But there's some other highlights besides Animal Crossing, believe it or not. The Nintendo Switch shipped 21.03 million units of hardware, which you're like, oh, that's a big number, right? Let me tell you just how big of a number it is. That is the single best fiscal year for a console this entire generation. The previous record holder was the PlayStation 4 with 20 million from April 2016 to March 2017. We all know the PS4 is a huge success. I think breaking the record of the PS4 is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty crazy stuff. Sell-through has been just up for the system like crazy. The most ridiculous thing is in North America and Europe, where if you look at the sales trends, the demand for the flagship model, not the Lite, is basically even, and then you just increase even more thanks to the Lite. So like the Lite has only been adding to the sales of the Switch, which is crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Then they kind of just was like, hey, here's our announced games for the year: Xenoblade, Clubhouse games, and then
Clubhouse game.
That's it.
So far.
They said that they're also treating the continuous updates of Animal Crossing, the expansion pass for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and the Fighter Pass 2 for Smash Brothers as major titles, which I think makes sense. Those games are gonna continue to be system sellers, right? Hardware drivers.
Definitely.
So, here's a funny statistic: Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. If you remember, the goal for their mobile games was that the mobile games would increase demand for their console games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Turns out the inverse is happening. New Horizons is so popular that people are also downloading Animal Crossing Pocket Camp to their phones, and is seeing a large increase in active players. Pocket Camp.
They're gonna be disappointed when they find out that it sucks compared to the actual game.
Yeah, I mean maybe. But people are, and it's actually generating revenue, which is funny.
Is there any connectivity between the two? Or?
There's
supposed to
only
be
slight. It's very slight.
It's a missed
basically
opportunity.
non-existent, to be honest. But it's there. Good reason to log in, I guess. And maybe they'll do more of it. I kind of hope they don't, because I don't want to play Pocket Camp. But
I don't either. Please don't make.
But hey,
cool
I think that's us telling Nintendo they should, because then we can get these guys to play Pocket Camp.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be for you. Be for other people who want to play them. Jeez.
Yeah. Mario Kart Tour is seeing a bump in revenue ever since they added multiplayer.
Fucking rolling my eyes.
Wow.
It's your favorite Mario Kart game. It's the new one.
And then they just kind of other quick sales highlights. Super Mario Party and Splatoon 2 both passed 10 million units each. This puts them in an illustrious club, because not many Nintendo franchises have hit 10 million in a single entry. Zelda only did it for the first time with Breath of the Wild.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Splatoon is a huge deal, and apparently so is Super Mario Party.
Super Mario Party, the game that has no post support, though, like the only Mario game on the system that had absolutely no post support, it blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, it's the game. People said, oh, they need to release updates so it keeps selling. Well, it keeps selling without the updates, apparently. They don't need to do anything with that.
I would have loved more boards and shit for that game. It just felt like it had all these modes. It felt a little lacking to me at the end of the day. It was fine.
I think we needed more. The main game needed more, right?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
But this is notable also because you would think, what's the best? So this is the best-selling Mario Party game, which is crazy because Mario Party was on the Wii. You would think the Wii is the perfect fit for Mario. You would think there has not been a Nintendo console more of a perfect fit, more of an audience match than the Wii and Mario Party. But somehow the Switch has the best-selling Mario Party.
I don't know how that happened. It's very weird, maybe because the Switch had, not the Switch, but the Wii had so many shit knockoffs of Mario Party, like minigame collection shit, that like,
sure,
I don't know.
Also Mario Party sold a fuck ton on Wii also, it should be noted, right? But the fact that this broke that record, the fact that this broke that record, and I think it's especially notable on Switch because in the first year of the system, I think the perception of Switch is, the audience of the system is hardcore, right? They're here for Breath of the Wild, they're here for Mario Odyssey. But turns out casual games also do pretty good on the system. Animal Crossing, Pokemon,
Is there any game that doesn't do good on the system?
Clearly not. Well, the Tokyo Mario Sessions.
Was that a flop?
It's basically the only game they released worldwide that did not hit 1 million units this last fiscal year.
Oh, I was gonna say, Sushi Strikers hit 1 million, bro. What the hell?
No, in the last fiscal year.
Okay.
And they released a lot. They had 18 separate million sellers. That includes evergreen titles, of course, as well. In this last fiscal year, though, just in that fiscal year, 18 separate games from Nintendo sold 1 million units,
That's
and then 9
impressive.
more third-party games on top of that.
What happened,
baby?
What happened to the Player's Choice million sellers? What happened to that?
They don't need to do that. They don't need to do that because these games won't stop selling. You know.
I know. Hey man, it takes me back to the days when a game sold 1 million copies and they dropped it down to $40.
They dropped it down. Yeah, that's because in the GameCube days, when a game sold 1 million, it was not going to sell another copy again until it hit $20.
Because it was on the GameCube.
Well, no, on the N64. I think on the N64, it just dropped $10, right? It went down from 50 to 40. Once it hit the Player's Choice. And I think Game Boy games had that as well. They would do like down from 30 to 20 or something like that,
well,
or
this
25.
does not happen here. Let me tell you.
It's not. I mean, they haven't done it in a while, so they didn't do it with the Wii or the Wii.
Yeah,
U.
Nintendo Selects came on the Wii and 3DS fairly late in the life cycle.
Oh yeah, Nintendo Selects. I forgot about that shit. Yeah.
Some other big notable ones, I would say, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe passed the sales of Mario Kart DS. It is now the second best-selling Mario Kart, period. The only one left to dethrone is Mario Kart Wii. And from the if you look at the annual sales, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold more this fiscal year than it did the previous, so sales are accelerating for Mario Kart.
I don't get it.
Which is to say, it's probably on track to dethrone Mario Kart Wii.
I fucking love Mario Kart, but like...
No Mario Kart 9.
No Mario Kart 9.
It makes me so sad. Because like...
happen.
The people who like played Mario Kart 8 and bought all the DLC for Mario Kart 8 on Wii U are getting like so hardcore cucked here, because it's like, we're not... Because this is just gonna do so fucking well. Like, there's tons of people who are experiencing Mario Kart 8 for the first time. Like, fucking millions, probably, right?
I mean, at this point, it's most of the people buying Mario Kart 8, right? Like,
exactly. but we're getting cut so hard because Mario Kart 8 came out forever ago. I just want a new Mario Kart game.
To be fair, we did get a new IP from that team in ARMS, right?
I thought you were gonna say, to be fair, we got Mario Kart Tour, and I was gonna leave.
No. They made a new IP instead of Mario Kart, a new Mario Kart game on the system.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I get it. I like ARMS, but...
To everybody who loves Mario Kart 8, I mean, now you have a whole bunch of new people to beat online. Go for it.
Yeah, true, yeah. I mean, there's, always. And but like, I don't know, becoming the second best-selling Mario Kart already in 3 years, that's just ridiculous.
Mario Kart 8, I think, was already the best-selling Wii U game, but it sold like 8 million or something like that.
8 million on the Wii U, just over 8 million as the best-selling.
Isn't Mario Kart always the best-selling game?
Well, basically, yeah, though, because like if you look at Mario Kart Wii, I mean, if you look at the Wii, the only game that sold better than Mario Kart Wii is Wii Sports, which was Pac-Man.
Doesn't count.
That was Pac-Man.
Doesn't really count.
But on the Wii U, best-selling game. On the 3DS, best-selling game.
I don't think that started until the Wii though, because I don't think
it didn't start until the Wii.
N64 it was even close.
I guess Mario Kart DS is where it started. Though Mario Kart DS was outsold by Nintendogs just barely and New Super Mario Brothers, the original New Super Mario Brothers, but still top 3, right? I think Mario Kart DS is where Mario Kart truly started hitting it up. But also, if you look at it in another way, right? Super Mario Kart is where it started, and that was kind of a primitive game. But Mario Kart 64 and Mario Kart Double Dash were on systems that didn't sell that good.
Yeah.
Right? Like those N64 and GameCube are not were not big sellers, Yeah. And I think now we're seeing the potential when it's on a system that sells really well. What happens, right? And Mario Kart is just ridiculous.
And I just want to call people out right now. If you think Mario Kart Double Dash is the best Mario Kart game ever made, you are fucking stupid, all right? You haven't played the new Mario Kart game. Shut the hell up. Take the damn nostalgia glasses off. Mario Kart Double Dash, not as good as you remember. I don't give a fuck. Done.
All right, that's all true, but why isn't there a Double Dash mode in the new games? Like,
it's not that cool. I don't get it. It's not that, like, it's just, come on, bro. It's not that fucking cool.
Why not have it? Like, What's
well,
the big idea?
Maybe Mario Kart 10 will have it. Who knows?
Well, not 9 apparently, because it's never coming.
No, Mario Kart 2 is Mario Kart 9.
No,
Wow.
no.
Brandon got cooked again.
Mario Kart Tour is not. It doesn't exist.
It is.
It's not canon.
It's 9.
It does. It's not canon. Doesn't happen in the lore. All right, we don't have fucking like double-decker bus driving ass Waluigi in any other game. Okay, this is non-canon shit.
All right. Other quick notes. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon immediately became a million seller in a month. Congrats to Mystery Dungeon.
Wow.
But speaking of Pokemon Sword and Shield has now, in 4 months, outsold all of the 3DS games. So, more than X and Y, more than Sun and Moon. It is the 4th best-selling Pokemon currently. It is just a couple 100,000 away from passing Diamond and Pearl, which is to say, by this time, 3 months from now, it will pass.
Yeah.
It might have already passed it, to be honest.
True.
These are numbers up until March 31st. But for sure, I think when we get the next quarter update, it will pass Diamond and Pearl. And with Pokemon Sword and Shield not being replaced this year, right? We're getting the expansion even to boost sales. I think that it's a very good chance this becomes the best-selling Pokemon after Red and Blue. Like, I think it's going to be Gold and Silver.
There's nothing will ever touch Red and Blue, but like,
no, it's not possible.
It's incredibly impressive, the sales figures for this game.
Degs it worked.
Yeah, I'd say nice boycott, everybody. You did real great at that. I'm proud of you. If everybody who was boycotting the game, how vocal they were, if they bought the game, it would have probably beat Red and Blue. Am I right?
Yeah.
The way to beat
fuck you,
Red and
people.
Blue is just put Pokemon on go-karts, obviously.
Oh, damn. That you got $1 million idea right now, bro.
I know.
By the way, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, little launch game, if you remember it, so long ago, has now passed Super Mario Odyssey. It's actually just about tied. They're both at 17.41, but Nintendo puts it above, so I guess if you get to the next decimal place.
What the hell happened to Odyssey? It just fucking slow down?
Well, no. This is notable for a reason because, I mean, for one, Breath of the Wild's legs have been better than Odyssey. That's just a fact, right? But Odyssey is no slouch because Super Mario Odyssey is the best-selling 3D Mario game, right? And so
you could have taken selling out of that sentence. It still would have been, the same sentence.
But I don't know about that, but okay.
I think that Breath of the Wild Zelda has never sold more than its equivalent Mario game. Never. Ever.
Right. Absolutely.
Now we have the best-selling 3D Mario game ever, and Breath of the Wild sold more than it, and it's gonna widen the gap. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I mean, I think that's just a testament to how much the Zelda franchise's worth has risen since Breath of the Wild, it's just I mean, the fact that genuinely, it's a bigger deal than 3D Mario now. Could you fathom that possibility before this?
No, but also who could have? America, because America's been right there with you, Zelda, the whole time. America loves Zelda, and we're going to continue to love Zelda, and now the rest of the world's finally finding out Zelda is better than Mario.
Yeah, but also America loves Zelda more than ever before now, too.
It's strange. It's strange that Zelda's like, it's always been like video game royalty, but now it's like super, like selling super well, like at its, at the height of its fame, basically.
Yeah. It feels like, because Zelda's always felt like the
prestige. It's like a prestige game.
Exactly. The prestige, especially when it comes to Nintendo stable, like Zelda's the prestige one,
Yeah.
But now we're seeing like it's also has this mass market appeal that has kind of, maybe you could say, caught up to its reception.
Yeah.
But also its reception is better than ever before too, right? Like Breath of the Wild is easily the best received Zelda game, right? At least you could say, or since Ocarina of Time. Right? Yeah, I don't know. The franchise is just in a place that like never before. 17 million units. It's going to more than double the previous record holder for the franchise, which was Twilight Princess. That just blows your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, that definitely. Holy shit, man!
It was all those Wii U sales.
Yeah, all those video sales, definitely, for sure.
Fucking god.
And I think that's about all the notable stuff. Also, Nintendo did mention about Animal Crossing that it is the fastest selling Switch title ever, which would make it the fastest selling Nintendo title ever.
Jesus Christ.
Something to think about.
Something to worry over.
Yeah. Well, Animal Crossing. I mean, all these franchises are just doing better than ever before, right? And I think. Oh, one last note, actually. Shout out to Ring Fit Adventure. Sold 2.5 million copies. And of course, that's while being completely sold out worldwide. They did say they're going to try to manufacture. They're ramping up production for the game to more accurately capture the demand because people want their Ring Fit.
And give us some more DLC.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Let's do it. More DLC, Nintendo. Get on it. Then some other non-sale stuff that they mentioned here. They did mention the possibility of COVID-19 disrupting their plans. They're claiming that as of today, they don't foresee any more delays and stuff. But ZhugiX on Twitter is saying, well, that's because games have already internally been delayed because of the conditions. So that I think that's somewhat notable. Hey, release schedule probably will be kind of sparse this year.
Sad. I'm sad.
I think you should just go in expecting that, like, Nintendo's. But however, they're not expecting that much of a dip in sales from hardware or software, especially when you consider this fiscal year is not going to have a new Pokemon or a new Animal Crossing to release, right? They're not expecting that much of a decline. Like, they're expecting to go from 21 million hardware units to 19 million, and they tend to be conservative with their estimates. So, yeah, except for that famed 20 million. It is funny that we made so much of a big deal about their 20 million target that they didn't hit 2 years ago, and then this year they don't target that, and then they far exceed that.
Mm-hmm.
And no one talks about it as much.
There you go. Don't have expectations.
Don't have expectations. That's the lesson of this podcast. Don't have expectations. Okay, enough of Nintendo. We have one last piece of news to talk about. One last thing, little thing. EA had their investor call. We kind of know their slate for the year, basically. Which is to say not much very interesting. Sports games, you know. But they have a remaster launching this year. And Jeff Grubb of VentureBeat is saying on Twitter, this is a Mass Effect trilogy.
Nice. Is it coming to Switch?
He says it's not coming to Switch.
Fuck that.
At launch. So, you can expect... And while we're on the note of Switch, EA also mentioned we will be releasing multiple titles for the Switch this year.
Wow.
So Burnout is not the only one, apparently. Rumor mill has it that it's Apex Legends and some sort of Plants vs. Zombies game. So they're supporting the Switch now. And hey, we might get Mass Effect later.
But why the fuck isn't it coming at launch?
Later.
Why is the fucking Nintendo getting cucked again?
Hey, this is better support than they were doing before, though. Late ports are better than no ports.
Yeah, but goddamn, why?
But I do think Mass Effect Trilogy is worth talking about besides unrelated to Switch, though, right? Hey, this is something people have been asking for, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to play Mass Effect on modern hardware.
Yep.
Do you have any hopes for this trilogy? Like, that it's going to be more than just a simple up-res?
Yeah.
Or...
that they rewrite Part 3?
Well, that's not going to happen.
What? You said if I have hopes. You didn't say they had to be realistic.
I did ask that. Yeah, you're right. I didn't ask if I didn't say they had to be feasible hopes.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people...
Should have been more specific, Gills. You know, you got to be more specific when you say these things.
Well, goddamn right. I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are kind of holding out for Mass Effect 1 being more of a rework because...
I just hope, like, the loading times are better, really. I mean, in general, I don't think there's that much that needs to be reworked in Part 1. Unless you want to rewrite the whole game, which is not feasible, like you just told me.
That's what people are hoping for, a full remake of 1. I don't know if I would hold out for that, but, you know. Finally, if you go back a couple years, and so this guy, I forget what his name is, but some guy from Bioware, who's one of the heads of Bioware, who's not there anymore, he said if we were to ever remaster the Master games, we would kind of want to remake them into basically one game.
Oh my god.
Uh,
It's a 150-hour game? What the fuck?
Which is to say, like, update the gameplay systems for Mass Effect 1 to more... Because 2 and 3 are fairly similar, right? In terms of gameplay?
Yeah.
But 1 is a little bit more different, definitely more aged. And basically put that up to par and basically make it a singular game rather than 3 separate games. Because as is, things carry over, right?
I guess. I mean, in part 2, it generally gets reset anyway because, well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I don't know. It's the beginning of the game. You basically die and then you get resurrected or whatever. So all your shit starts over. So
yeah.
It's it's one of those Metroid things where you lose all your powers.
Oh, Samus lost all her powers again.
Somehow, her suit went haywire.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it'll be interesting nonetheless. I might play Mass Effect for the first time. We'll see.
Good stuff.
Would be a fun launch game for the new systems, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
That's a meaty experience. Okay, and that's the news. Now we move on to the list.
The list!
So check out the paste bin in the description below. So you can follow along, because the list, it is not a best of list, right? But instead we add a game every week and we rank it against every other game that's been on the list prior to that. Last week, I brought in Kirby's Adventure.
Yep.
Right? Kirby's Adventure, which ended up at number... Where's Kirby's Adventure?
It's on there. It's like in the...
It's somewhere on this list.
It's in the middle bottom. There's a lot of games
at 120.
Just look at that
120.
Huh? 120. Okay, 120. The list is getting pretty big. It's 182 games big now. And it's about to be 183. Brandon, what are you adding?
What am I adding? Okay, all right. In times like these when everybody's like fucking, there's only half the people here on the podcast, even though, I mean, we never get 6, but, there's going to be people who are disappointed no matter what you do, right? You're going to pick a game and, I want to talk about that game. Well, I have no fucking sympathy for you, all right? Just fucking show up, all right? I don't know what to tell you, okay?
Okay.
So, I'm going to pick a game that maybe somebody wants to talk about. It's not going to be your favorite game, probably, I doubt it, but I'm going to pick it because I know all 3 of us here have played it. And that game is No More Heroes.
Oh, hey.
Ooh.
I like this game.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. It has its flaws, I'm going to say right off the bat. But overall, I really I'm a big fan of Suda51. And all of his games are very similar to me where stylistically, I absolutely love them. I just, he hits the right notes for me in terms of like humor and, style, just things that I see and go, okay, I like the way, the way he thinks and the way he does things here. But his games are never really that great in terms of gameplay. Yeah. Like, all of them. They all have the same problems, right? Like, for me. Like, they're not, like, amazing to play. They're all fine. But none of them are really, like, super great. And No More Heroes, sure, it's that. I mean, there's No More Heroes is very cool. You play as Travis Touchdown, who I hope gets in Super Smash Brothers, and so does Suda himself.
It's gonna happen.
Sakurai.
But this is why Sakurai has a restraining order.
Surprised he doesn't actually have one. But Travis Touchdown, he's a nerd. He's a nerdy dude in his late 20s, lives by himself, and somehow he ends up getting mixed up in this huge killing game where you have to kill these other assassins to try to become number 1. It's like a big leaderboard. He's basically doing it. He's trying to get laid.
That's his goal.
That's it. He wants to get laid. He sees a cute girl that's involved in this. It's like, oh, if I get number one, like you'll go out with me, right? And she leads him on, and he's like, cool. Now I'm gonna go around killing all these fucking assassins. And I'm gonna be ranked number one, and that's where the game goes. And it boils down to there's basically 3 different parts of the game. There's like you're walking around the city, and you have to do jobs, and this is the worst.
The worst part of the game.
You, in order to like get to go fight like the next ranked assassin, you have to like get enough money. So you have to go do like actual fucking jobs, and it's so boring. And you play these mini games, and they absolutely suck. Like they use motion controls; they're not fun to play. Like you're literally like you're mowing fucking like yards, you're shaking coconut trees, you're like picking up garbage. Like it's dumb. None of it's fun. That part is not fun.
Well, I'm assuming the PlayStation version doesn't have motion controls, does it?
Yeah, there's a PS3 and an Xbox 360 version, I believe, as well. And no, I don't think they do. Although I heard those games actually.
But I heard those versions are worse.
They're worse than the Wii version. They're graphically they look better, but they apparently they play worse, and they also have. I don't know if they're more censored. I know that as well. Like the blood is more censored in them. Yeah, it's wild.
How is Wii more? How's
I think the frame rate's worse in those versions.
Jesus Christ!
Those are not good ports, to say the least.
Yeah, they're bad. So we're ranking this game. I want to rank the Wii version.
The Wii version for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's the one we all played anyway.
That's true. I mean, and once you get enough money to go fight the next assassin, that's where the game is actually fun, right? Like, because you have you go through these like levels where it's just kind of like a beat 'em up. He has a lightsaber basically that you go around and you just slice people up, and it's very gory and people
very hack and slash.
Very hack and slash. You use Wii motion controls to like.
For the finishing moves.
Yeah. Finishing moves and stuff. You can do, he loves wrestling, so you can do wrestling moves and shit. And you can cut people in half, like fucking from the bottom up and all sorts of shit. And there's just rain bloods and coins. And it's all silly and goofy. But the best part of the game, because after you do that, you get to the bosses, and that's my favorite part.
This is where the game shines.
That's right? Absolutely. All the bosses and the characters that you fight, all the different assassins, are all like super fucking cool, and the boss fights are great.
All of them, I would say, are very memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Both stylistically, like in turn, like just aesthetically, how they look, the way actually fighting them, right?
Yeah.
The mechanics of that. I think that like the game just shines in these fights.
Absolutely. I wish the game was a boss rush mode. I wish it was like Cuphead, where you just go from one boss to the next. And that's
I think it would be a better game if it didn't have the non-boss. I mean, granted, I do think that and this is gonna sound very hacky, but I think the first segments, right, with the jobs, I think that's intentionally bad, right? I do. I think they're intentionally bad because I think Suda wants to hit home that Travis is a fucking loser,
Sure.
And I think, so despite all these cool parts of the game, you just gotta remember, this guy is a normal loser.
Sure. He is. And they do drive that home throughout the game, that this guy's kind of a loser. He's a nerd, and you can think he's cool,
glamorous, because you think of an assassin, right? You think of only the boss fight aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way you think of. But he's here to show you, Travis. Like, this is not a glamorous,
Yeah.
Well, to some extent, I agree with that. Because I mean, for instance, his saving spot is him going to the toilet. So it's not exactly glamorous. But I mean, if a game is intentionally bad, it's still bad to me. If part of a game,
that's fair.
It's still not fun.
And this is not to excuse it, right? But I do think that I'm kind of okay when stuff like that is used as a narrative device, right? I think that's maybe you could say they could have done it better, or whatever. But I think it's not just bad and that's it, right? I think there is some good things you can glean from it, right? Of just
I guess.
You know.
I mean, I do like them in the second game when they did like these NES style mini games. I know some people somehow didn't like them either, but like I thought those were more interesting at least.
Yeah, I remember those being better.
Yeah, but I mean that's still the first game. And even though that's my biggest problem with the first game, like with No More Heroes, I still like the game a lot.
No, yeah. This game is very. I mean, this game is flawed for sure.
Absolutely.
Right? This game, and I think you could even say this game is a mess, right?
But I don't know if I would go that far, but it definitely is flawed is a very good word.
Messy.
Yeah, messy, sure.
But I think this game oozes in style. I think this game is just
character.
And the parts that are good really do shine, right? Mm-hmm. Even in gameplay wise, right?
Yeah.
There are very good gameplay parts to this game.
I like slashing people up with my beam sword. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you want to put it on the list?
Man, I mean it's a hard one for me. I think I want to put it right under Alundra.
Okay, because my immediate comparison point was going to be Wonderful 101.
I think it's better than Wonderful 101.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
That solves that then.
Although, I mean, I agree that there is a comparison to be made.
Sure. Yeah, there is a comparison to be made. Yeah, there is. I mean, both games are very cool and very stylistic, and both have their flaws.
And they're both action games.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately, I think Wonderful 101 has more flaws.
Okay, that's fair. I kind of like the spot under Alundra personally.
Yeah, that's.
I would.
That's generally where I landed. Like that's where I started slowing down when I was looking at the list.
You're like better than this, and then Alundra's were kind of where.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I stopped as well. I mean, yeah, the games around it also still are very good. Kirby's Epic Yarn is a very good game. Golden Sun I like a lot, and Chibi Robo. But
for example, if I'm making like a best of Wii list, right? I'm putting No More Heroes above Kirby's Epic Yarn. Maybe just barely, but I'm putting it above Epic Yarn, just personally.
Yeah, probably. Same. I'd put No More Heroes 1 and 2, probably both above Epic Yarn.
Yeah.
Maybe not 2, but...
Really? You don't like 2 as much as 1?
I don't like 2 as much as 1. No, I don't.
I love 2.
I think 2 is a lot less memorable, but...
Yeah,
sure.
But I did like 2.
And I think that this game is very memorable, like the first game.
Yeah, I mean, it has some fantastic characters as bosses, Shinobu, Bad Girl,
yeah.
They're all good.
All the characters and bosses are so cool. Where like even like the city itself, Santa Clara, is very like it's a barren city. Like
Santa
there's
Destroy.
Nothing in it. Santa Destroy, yeah, I don't know why I called it Santa Clara. But like the city is like it's nothing to do, like you can travel around, but it's just like such a barren, like ugly looking like environment.
Yeah, I hated traveling on that bike. Oh,
But all those complaints like just seem so minimal compared to how fucking cool like the actual like the meat of the game is,
Have you ever played Fury?
No, I haven't.
That is a game that is a lot like this game, but just a boss rush, basically. So you should probably check that out.
Maybe check it out,
yeah. Maybe.
Well, otherwise, do we all kind of feel good about Right Under Alundra?
Yep.
I feel good about that.
Okay, well, let's settle then. Alundra is now not Alundra. No More Heroes is going to be at number 84. Surrounding it is Stardew Valley. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney at 81. Stardew Valley, Alundra, No More Heroes, and then Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed at 85. Alright, that was the list. That was the podcast. Which one of you wants to do plugs and which one of you wants to do final phrase?
I mean, I'll do both.
There you go.
I'd rather do 1 and 1.
I know Ills doesn't want to probably do either one, so.
I'll do the final phrase, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so, alright, Brandon, go into plug.
All right, we're plugging it here. I'm your plug. If you need anything, come to me. And if you enjoyed the Jump Up Supercast, just the Jump Up Supercast. I didn't say it this time.
You did it.
I'm ashamed.
Oh, make sure you check us out on your favorite podcast listening service of your choice, including SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. New episodes of the Jump Up Supercast will go up every single Monday, as well as the Jump Up Supercast Game Club that I host, and I didn't fuck up on the plugs this time. And those go up every single other Thursday. If that makes any sense to you, give us a follow, a like, or
other Thursday.
So
give us a like, a follow, or a share, and let us know what you thought about just the whole episode in general. Where would you put No More Heroes on the list? Support us if you enjoy what we do. You can support us on Patreon, where for $1 a month you get the chance to choose our next Game Club game once around, and we got that coming up right now. So if you listen to the upcoming Game Club episode, we are playing Night in the Woods, and at the end of that episode, we're going to tell everybody what the next Game Club game is, and it's a Patreon pick. And you would already know, even if you were in our Discord, because we have a Discord that you also get to join for just $1 a month, man. So it's a treat. And you support us, and we appreciate it. To the people who do, it's awesome. So thank you very much. And you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to stay up to date on everything Jump Up Supercast related, and even catch us streaming from time to time on twitch.tv/JumpUpSupercast. So that's about it for the plugs. You make sure you follow us on Twitch, though, because maybe we'll be playing some games soon. Who fucking knows? Hopefully, maybe, but probably we would appreciate it either way. Anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome day. And Ills, whatever you got to say as your final phrase, you can say it right now.
All right. I just want to let everyone know that I really, 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 really want to go to sleep now. Bye.